I've met many entrepreneurs in my life, and not once have I met anyone who expected the work they had to put in to become successful. From the outside, it looks like entrepreneurs live pretty easy lives and only have to put in the bare minimum to get by. But you and I, we know that's not true. Even when you kind of expect how difficult it will be to start, your mind still constantly gets blown away by how infuriating tricky it can all get. That's the life of an entrepreneur, and I'm not here to tell you that it will get easier. So if that's what you're looking for, you should probably stop listening to this episode. I'm not going to tell you about all the magical shortcuts that will lift all that workload from your shoulders and allow you just to sit back and live that easy life many people think entrepreneurs live. And no, by the way, those shortcuts don't exist. Maybe you've already figured this out. Perhaps you haven't. Who knows? What I can tell you is what will get you a lot more leverage in your business and allow you to invest a lot more time in yourself. Because as an entrepreneur, time stops being time. It becomes currency. You either spend it doing something like running a business, or you invest in it with your family, your health, your friendships, and your hobbies. And that's one thing is this. You need to get up and get out of your comfort zone. I'm sure you must have heard this advice before. And as a little girl, I'm sure I heard it probably a gazillion times. Adults always told me that I wouldn't achieve anything if I didn't get out of my comfort zone. Of course, they were wrong. You can achieve something while being in your comfort zone. I've met entrepreneurs who never tried a new thing, ever. And these guys, they're doing well in their careers. But the fact is that they could be doing so much more. Each day they choose to remain in their comfort zone and not attempt anything new. They leave money on the table. They leave new clients on the table. They leave opportunities on the table. They leave expansions on the table. You don't want to be like that, especially if your comfort zone isn't treating you very well. You need to get out. Try new things, explore, do that new video, learn that new technique, take that leap of faith. You never know where that pot of gold is hiding. And I get it. It's hard enough running multiple businesses, but you don't want to be just an entrepreneur. You want to be a great one. You want to be the best that you can be. And you absolutely cannot be that without stepping outside of your comfort zone. I can tell you that for free. Well, I'm telling you all of this for free anyways. So let's get down to this. How can you get out of your comfort zone, especially as an entrepreneur? So why would you leave your comfort zone in the first place? I know most people have a generic answer to this, but this isn't a generic question. Think about the answer to this. What do you think you could gain by leaving your comfort zone and trying out some new things? Well, there you have it. Whether it's a new client, a more significant business, better business opportunities, more fulfilling relationships. Think of it constantly and concentrate on how much your life would improve if you had all of those things. Think about how you're leaving them on the table every day you choose to conform to that comfort in your comfort zone. And I must admit, that has a pretty motivating ring to it. One helpful trick for me is to draw a circle that represents my comfort zone, okay? And put myself in that circle. And then place all the things I know that I could get by leaving my comfort zone outside of that circle. This process lets me know what I stand to gain by leaving that circle. It also tells me what I'm comfortable with. Inside the circle with me, I write down all of my comforts. I know that may not seem like much sense when I'm saying it out loud, but the power is in it when you actually see those circles on paper. Okay, so let's get to how you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know that may not make a lot of sense. How can you be comfortable when you're feeling discomfort? You can. At first it doesn't make sense, I agree, but it's a technique that works if you've got the willpower to follow it through. To get comfortable with being uncomfortable, you need to make it a goal to do one thing every day that makes you uncomfortable. One thing I know the most entrepreneurs struggle with on Instagram is going live. I used to struggle with it too, until I realized that you really can't get over your discomfort until you actively try to work on it. Psychologists call this technique exposure therapy. It consists of you getting exposed to things you know you are uncomfortable with and training your mind to get comfortable with it. So if you're uncomfortable with following up with prospects, try to follow up with one prospect every day. Before you know it, you'll get comfortable with it and you will have achieved a lot. One of the biggest reasons why people fear getting out of their comfort zone is failure. They are scared that when they get out and try something new or try to learn something new, and they'll fail at it. And for the most part, they're correct. If you are getting out of your comfort zone, you will experience failure. You can't hide from it. It's a fact of life. At some point, you'll go on live and it will backfire. But be prepared for that to happen. But most importantly, understand that every failure you face is a lesson. I don't mean to sound corny or cringy, but an interesting thing to remember when you face failure is that the master has failed even more times than the beginner has even tried. This Stephen McCraney quote describes the reality of failure more than anyone ever can. Anyone you see doing what you wish you could be doing and doing it well has most likely failed a lot more times than you've ever attempted to try. If you see a business with great reels, you should know that that business owner has made more terrible reels than you have ever made a reel, period. If you want to make reels like that and make your reels go viral, you'll have to make as many as that business owner and fail as much as they did. Every time you experience failure, take it as a chance to learn something new. That way, you'll be able to fail forward. And each failure will propel you towards being comfortable outside of your comfort zone. Now, another big tip for you. Don't try to do everything at the same time. That is exhausting and may leave you regretting why you started on your journey in the first place. So if you're going to get out of your comfort zone, and you should have to do it slowly. The best way to do this would be set a time or maybe a timetable for yourself. Decide to do a few things that you are scared of every week. And as you go through this timetable, increase the frequency at which you do these things. For example, if your timetable tells you to follow up with 5 prospects every week, you should increase that number to 10 after the first week. Before you know it, you'll be existing in an entirely different territory. And in that territory, your company matters. Well, your business is extremely important. When I say company, I mean the people you hang out with. I don't know how to say this nicely, but I don't think there really is a way around it. If you want to get out of your comfort zone, you need to change up your circle. Of course, you aren't going to throw away your phone and cut ties with everyone that you know, but you do need to start hanging out with people who take risks and are constantly exploring outside of their comfort zones. That's the only way you'll be able to truly get out of your comfort zone and break the habits and that safety that is holding you back right now. You need to have friends who are constantly pushing you to do more, to try new things, to be more. These people need to continuously inspire you. And if you aren't around them, you may get tired of taking risks. Or worse, you may get discouraged from taking them. The great thing about being friends with risk takers is that you can be accountable to them. Since they are also continuously trying out new things, they will be excited to hear your results from your adventure. But also, be honest with yourself. That is so important. When you start trying to get out of your comfort zone, your mind will begin to come up with reasons why you shouldn't. It's up to you to know that these reasons are just excuses and they aren't tangible. You need to shut down that tiny voice in your mind that will keep coming up with excuses about why you shouldn't set goals outside of your comfort zone. Whenever your brain tries to tell you that you don't have time to set this goal and achieve it, you need to be honest with yourself and know that it is an excuse because you don't want to leave your comfort zone. But once you understand that your excuses are baseless, you'll have the strength to forge ahead with your decision. Pretty cool, right? But that's it for you today. I hope you've learned a thing or two from this episode. And as always, friend, if you learned something new today, do me a favor and like this episode. Share it with those who may need to hear it. And finally, subscribe to my channel for more content like this and be part of our amazing entrepreneur community. My name is Lisa Ann, and that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.